Hey everybody, it's Flat Earth Santa. Oh, we got everybody coming in. Sorry, it's Wednesday. It's what not, why not time. It's 8 o'clock in the evening, and we're ready to get started. We've got our panelists sitting backstage. They're all ready. They're all waiting to come in. We've got a new a new person entering the arena. We've got Feed the Zeke. Everybody give him a great round of applause.
Howdy, howdy. Thank you. Appreciate you, Flat Earth, letting me give me an opportunity here to be on here. We're looking forward to it.
All right. We also have, as always, the Big T, Skipping Stones.
Hello, everyone. Thank you again for having me.
We have, again, as always, Punisher Rider.
Yes, the most controversial figure there is.
Simon says, go play in traffic.
Oh, yeah. I was waiting for that. And of course, my Canadian brethren, Alien
You better
Warrior.
be lucky I'm doing two things at once. Otherwise, Flat Earth, I would have been all over that.
Hey, what up, everybody?
That was funny.
All right. So, before we start into our regular topics, we've got a new thing. I'm bringing it up this week because, well, there's a new book. It's not just all absolute Batmans, and that is this week's Movers and Shakers. Now, I don't know about everybody, but I'm sure if you've had a show, you've probably been asked about a crazy new comic, and I'm sure everybody knows what it is, or has probably heard about it. Dork. How many of you have been asked about it?
Oh, I thought that's what they were calling me.
That too.
Every time I heard Dork, I heard Flat Earth. So I don't know what.
Oh, that's to be just, yeah. Come on. Has anyone been asked about it this week? We just got someone else coming in.
I haven't been asked about it, but I've seen a lot
Seen
of
it in lots of shows too.
Is it actually pronounced Dork or is it D-Orc?
I think it's D-Orc.
Yeah, I thought it was D-Orc as well, but I think Dork's better. But
what's up, everybody?
Hey, Mr. Soda Pops in.
NWO, brother.
NWO for life.
So those are the movers and shakers. What have you seen besides that, and obviously Absolute Batman? Something new that you've seen this week that's been a mover and a shaker. And we'll go around the horn, starting with Feed the Zeke.
Let's see. I mean, I haven't ran this week yet. I'll be on Saturday, but I mean, obviously the Dork or the D-Orc is running heavy. Absolute Batman. I mean, I don't think I've seen anything outside the norm that someone's asked for in any shows that I've seen too much, but I haven't been able to be on quite as much this week as I normally am. But yeah, I mean, aside from those two, I mean, there's been so much hype of the D-Orc that I don't even really know what to make of that. I don't know anything about it. I've seen it all over. It's all over Reddit. It's everywhere. Just like Absolute Batman was, it still is. But yeah, I mean, that's really all I've really seen so far this week. I don't know what the other folks have run into.
Sorry, Skipping. What have you seen? That's a mover.
Well, I have seen the D-Orc or Dork being asked for, but again, I don't know nothing about that either. I honestly, the first time I saw it, I thought they were just being funny and saying that you're a dork. Not to me, but to the person that was being silly on screen at the time that it was asked. But as far as anything else besides, the absolute, nothing's standing out to me. And I'm sorry that I don't have something better to say, but I mean, just seems like the same old that's being asked for. Your ASMs, some of your X-Men. As far as the more vintage stuff goes, I was asked for some vintage Batman, some and I mean vintage. When I mean vintage, I mean Silver Age, more so than um, more so than bronze. But with my experience mostly being in the vintage category, it seemed like DC was a big hitter this week over Marvel, but Marvel still is equally requested. So I have no value added for this comment or for this question.
Well, there's always value. Mr. Punisher, what have you seen in streams that is sort of the movers and shakers?
Well, since I don't actually sit in the dork streams and I venture into the lady streams, I've been seeing a lot of requests for Wednesdays. Wednesday, it's just like in those type of streams, like everybody wants a Wednesday. They're like, when's the next Wednesday coming out? I've also seen a lot of requests for horror, even though we're nowhere near Halloween. Um, I like horror is like an all year round love. I've seen a lot of movement on Charleston horror and a lot of vintage horror. A lot of keys like in the horror realm. A lot of people, and I mean, I've known this for a while. Like Secrets of Haunted House 5, I've like seen at least 10 requests in the last week for that book being asked. Um, as far as the lady books, I mean, you get the new lady books, but I see a lot of like Supergirl. Supergirl is like such a one that like gets requested a lot. Um, and things like that. I know, especially in that realm, people are excited about the new drops more than they are about old drops. I do see across the realm, whether it's longtime people or new people coming on, of course, Harley and stuff like that. But yeah, anything tied with like a Batman or something like that, because I think Absolute Batman has brought a lot of excitement. So they are kind of like venturing out to other Batmans also. So that's what I've been seeing.
Okay. Mr. Alien, what have you seen? What you had a show tonight?
Yeah, I actually never got to it. I've been busy at home. But what I've been seeing is, yeah, half dwarf, half orc, dork there. Also ordained. That's popular. Um, Jar Jar 1. I picked up a copy. Jar Jar with Ahmed Best is the author with Keller and Beck as two characters. So that's new. Yeah, Absolute Batman, Absolute Wonder Woman are just killing it. I'm seeing a lot of Joker covers as well that are getting popular.
Okay. Um, Mr. Soder, you've had two shows this week, so what have you seen?
I've seen a lot more requests for Punisher and Moon Knight for some reason. I thought that was kind of odd, but yeah, I'm seeing that. And piggyback on Punisher a little bit. Those adult books I've noticed are starting to pick back up a lot more than because they had died down for a while. But some of them, some of the other ones besides the Wednesday Supergirl and Harley's, Cammy from Street Fighter apparently is a big one. Um, and April O'Neil and Daphne from Scooby Doo, I've noticed are picking up as well. Mel and I were watching a show last night, and people were just like clamoring for those, like mad. It was fun. It was like eating popcorn and just watching a show. It was great.
All right. Mr. Joey,
Hey,
you've
what do we
done a
talk-
couple. We're talking about the movers and shakers this week. What are you seeing that's really, firing on all cylinders where people want?
What's firing on our cylinders from what I see is everybody with absolute Batman going crazy, spending $35-40 on a book, which is nuts. But that's what they're getting. That's what that's what it's all about. Absolute Wonder Woman. Everybody wants absolute books. I've ran Bronze and Copper. Nobody. I run new books. Nobody. Everybody, like somebody just said there, the naughty books. I see them starting to pick up steam again. And basically, it's a lot of new releases that are coming out. A lot of the new releases every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Harley's always asked for. Poison Ivy's always asked for. I haven't seen too much Punisher being asked for. That's basically about it on my end.
I think something that people need to realize this year, I think more than recent years, we're going to see a major uptake. We're going to see major swings. What's being asked for because of the movies that are coming out. And this is going to be probably one of the biggest movie years that we've seen. And a lot, whether the movies are good or not, I don't know. I'm just saying that there's so many movies that are coming out this year that could be tied with comics and different series coming out finally, that I think we're going to see a big tidal wave of weeks where we're going to.
I tend to agree. I was surprised that none of you said Lobo. That Lobo wasn't requested.
I've always seen Lobo requested though. It's been like months since
Oh.
it was confirmed with Jason Momoa.
I'm going to tell you right now that there's a lot of sleepers right now on those new Lobo books, the DC Universe. You have Lobo, you have Batwoman, and you got to see some of the covers on these things. They're going to be clamoring for those, and they're going to be under ordered. I can guarantee you that. That's all in the new release.
Request for Vampirella as well as Shikari books as well. Sorry about that, Joe. Go ahead.
No, I also think that the Mark Spears era is dead. Okay, I think he's played out. He's coming out with another one that's called Midnight Man. That's and I really don't know what's going to happen with those Mark Spears books because they're just like nobody wants them. The blind bags on Mark Spears are dead. You have the Vampirellas that are coming out, the Harley and Elvira's. The Harley and Elvira's will be out in March. All right, those should do pretty good. But I'm telling you, the DC Universe is going to be part of that absolute series, and it's going to be friggin' crazy. So you got Lobo, Batman, and Deathstroke.
Yeah, you also got the Punisher one shot that's coming on Disney Plus, and was it Green Lantern?
And you got Wonder Man coming out too. Wonder Man.
That's already out and it sucks, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, Wonder Man was no good. I don't know about the Punisher. Punisher may be a little played out too with the series with all the movies that they came out with.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I've seen the uptick in people asking for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm cool with that because I got a shit ton of Punisher I need to flip out. So.
Well, Alien mentioned the other one. I forget the name, but it's getting done because it got optioned, right? It's getting the sick tick sort of love.
That's already in progress,
No, not sick tick. What was it called? Alien?
Department of Truth?
No.
Ordained?
Ordained, yeah.
I know
one
when the
mentioned,
best
yeah.
blind bags are going to come out
Yeah,
this year.
it's one of those.
Yeah, no, it's going to be yours.
28th of this month, baby. Best blind bags you're going to see all year.
I doubt that. You haven't seen mine yet.
Alien, you were saying? Sorry.
Sorry, guys.
No. I was done, guys. No worries.
Oh yeah, Geiger was option 2. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I'm hoping they do that whole universe. I actually like Redcoat. Redcoat's actually a really good title.
You see, but Geiger's another one that has so many series already. They just keep on doing more and more and more, stopping it and redoing it again. You know, how much can people take after a while?
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. Well, let's move into topic number 1. And that's for new people that are starting. We always talk about networking, but we give examples or whatever, but I want you to give the top 3 ways that a new person can network with other people and to help them improve their streams. And I'm going to start reverse with Mr. Punisher.
First of all, get on bragging rights and show your ass. That's a good way to start. Um, no, honestly, is I've heard it in the past. You need to just cruise around whatnot and like even buy some things and become like, say, if you go to Skip and Stones and be part of the tribe, or go into Joey D's or Soda Pop or Alien or whoever. Go in, introduce yourself. Those people see you. There's people in there that are all over whatnot. They see you, they start following you. That's one good way. If you can make some friends or something and maybe become a mod, learn how to do that. That's another good way to network. You can Instagram, TikTok, social media, just use that. It's especially as free as it is, but you need to make your presence felt on the app. You need people to know you. I mean, I've been cruising around whatnot this week, and I'm like, who the fuck is this? Like, I've never seen their name before. And not that I'm on 24/7, but it's like, and there's 2 people in their room, maybe 3, because I popped in, and I'm just like,
Was that my show?
well, Joey, I said there was 3 people.
Yeah, that was way too many. It's
Yeah,
really show.
but get yourself known. I mean, don't I don't want to say their names, but even though I don't really give a fuck, but you go into a room with 100 and some people and the chat's flying a million times and you know who they are, you're not going to get recognized. You're not really, unless you're going to come in there and swing the big stick and you're going to be buying everything, which you're not really going to do. Go into other smaller streams. Go into those 20 people, those 18 people, those 10 people, the Joey 2 people,
Thank
and
you.
start. You're welcome, sir. I'll be there, my friend, so we can get to 3. Just so you can go and really introduce yourself and just like chat a little bit. I mean, you can chat up, do not be ignorant, don't be stupid. Do not come into somebody's stream and just start blasting like, hey, I'm a this. I still feel, even to this day, I don't care if it's skipping, soder, Surter.
Don't mention my name.
I still want to request, hey, is it okay to promote? Even though I know it's okay, it's just one of those things that it's kind of just do it that way. That's what a lot of us did. And just be respectful.
Okay. Well, those are 2. Did you have a third or?
Yeah, become friends with Flat Earth Santa. He'll lead you all the way.
No, yes, funny guy. Funny guy. The only thing I've got to say with that is
Simon says, go play in traffic.
That was funny.
all right.
The video.
Joey,
So,
what
first of all-
what are three things that they can do to network?
Well, the first thing that they need to do is like Punisher was saying is you need to make yourself present in shows. And like he said, don't go into big shows, go into smaller shows, introduce yourself. Hey, listen, blah, 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 blah. And, get to know people in the shows, because there's certain people that you go in their shows, they'll acknowledge you when you walk in the door. As soon as you pop in, they say, hey, welcome in, blah, 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 and, that's a good way to get to make friends, like you said, by buying stuff and everything like that. But also, don't be a dick, like he said. You got to go in and you got to go in smooth. You can't go in roughhousing and stuff like that. But peruse, I mean, I'm on the web, I'm on Whatnot sometimes for 2 hours just looking, like he said, and who's this and who's that and who's this. I rated Omen Bids one night. I didn't know who he was, and I said, well, he's only got 5 people in the room. Let me rate him, with my 2 people. No, but I rated him actually with 13 people that night. And he was like, holy shit. And every time I go in the show, he mentions, Joey was the first one to raid me, and, he acknowledges people for that, for that instance. Also, for the new sellers, you can't go in blind. You need to go in knowing what to do in certain instances, how to set up your shipping, how to set up your profile, how to set up your shows and everything like that, and I do those shows every Thursday so that I can not only tell you, but show you how to do certain things. Even Punisher asked me one day how to do something, and he's been on 3 years now? Punisher?
That was how to get the pajama pants to fit a certain way. That was the only thing I ever asked him.
Yeah, and I had to show him, but you want to know something? I couldn't do it on screen. No, I'm only kidding. But you don't get any help from Whatnot as being a new seller. Okay? They only tell you to do this, do this, do this, and they give you like a little synopsis, on a breakdown of what you have to do first. Set up this, set up this, set up this, and set up that. So the intricacies of Whatnot, you don't know. You have to go and research. Another thing is do the research on what you need to do. If you need help with anything, if you go on and you do, how do I set up a show on Whatnot, it'll come up and it'll give you, and you can go in there and you can look and it'll go through the steps for you. But if you want to know right away, come to the show. I'll show you guys how to do it. I'll show anybody how to do it. Anybody who comes in my show that's a new seller, I always ask them, are you a seller and everything like that? And they say, yeah. I say, okay, give them a follow, and you can promote your shows and everything like that. I always let people do that. But the biggest thing is, I know, did I do 2? Did I do 2 or 3? Do I have another one? Yeah, because I was going to say this. I was going to say the same thing Punisher said. You have to make yourself known and show yourself on the social media also. You have to make your presence known on social media. Tell them what you're doing, when you're going to be doing it, and everything like that. TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. But the most thing is to really know what you're doing, because there's plenty of new people that I go on and I go in their shows and they don't know shit about anything, and they're trying to figure out as they go along instead of trying to figure it out before they start their show. That's why there's practice shows. That's why there's private shows. Do a private show and invite some of your friends in. All right. Yeah, that's another thing here. There's another thing. You, as a new seller, cannot try to be like somebody else. You have to find your own niche, like that was said in the comment. Okay. your own niche. You got to be you and you only. Okay. And run shows about the way you want to run shows, not the way anybody else runs shows. If that makes any sense.
Sure. Okay. Let's see if we can get it back on track. We wanted to be about networking, right? Top three tips that people can do to network. Soder, what are your top three that things that you did or things that you think worked well that got you to network with other people?
Honestly, a lot of it's going to be repetitive, so I'll just like hit the highlights of what they were saying too. Get on other people's streams and engage. Um, a big one for especially for new sellers, jump on here and start engaging in the chat, because pretty much you can look at everybody on this panel right now. We know enough people across the app that when you jump in, we can hype you up too. We can do a lot of different things to help you network. Um, Start with the easy stuff. Those two things, jump into other people's shows. You got to be careful too, because you don't want to necessarily, there's a lot of sellers on there you probably don't want to be associated with. But that's learning too. But that's where the people on here you can talk to, and we can give you as honest answers as we can without slinging shit on anybody. But I mean, it's important to make sure you're associated with the right people as well. So that's two. The third one for me, when people follow you, and again, not everybody does this. I do, and it seems to work out really well. I follow them back. Then you're officially like friends on there. Um, I go in and I pop a little message. I leave little like notes on some of the people, especially the new buyers. Thanks for stopping in and giving us support. I'll throw in a free book, things like that. Helps that engagement, and it helps people come back. It'll help when they pop back into your stream. They feel more of a connection to you, more personal, so they'll start chatting it up with you too. And the more people interacting in the chat, you'll notice Whatnot will help support you a little bit too. I don't know. That's what seems to be working for me. I don't know if anybody else can agree with that, disagree with that, but for me, that's been very important.
Well, I can relate to that, because as you just said,
I do, Pilsner. I do.
Engaging in the chat. If your chat is engaged, it helps with the algorithm.
Yeah, and that's the way to do it, though. I mean, you make it personal for people, so they feel like there's a connection with you, like your buddies, or just things like that. And then they'll share your show, or they'll talk about some stupid shit you did on your show. That stuff happens to me all the time. I have people that came in, or I'll get a private message saying, "Hey, I heard you got this book, or you got this book running. 2 weeks from now, will you sell it early?" Which I don't like that. But they'll mention somebody else was in the stream, said it was pretty cool, and they're going to be popping in the next one. And sure as shit, they do, and they buy new books, or buy books. It's word of mouth is important for networking. It helps build you up. So yeah,
Cool. Senior Alien, top three networking tricks.
Yeah. Okay. Definitely, what's been said has been great advice. I would concur. If you have something to say to the seller, or even just strike up a conversation, I've made some really good friends on the app, and I'm sure you guys will as well. But definitely, if you have something to say, about your favorite artist, maybe, or the titles that you collect, or any obscure information, just put yourself out there. You'll see it pays back in dividends, and just have some humility. I would also say networking on other apps is also good, like social networking, and also physical sales, like conferences or sales events, like the one you're going to on the weekend flat. Those are also good for networking. If you're a seller and you're looking to expand your business to Whatnot, have a website. Um, have some information on there that you can share with your customers. Maybe your sense of ethics in business. I would also say if you're going to be take it seriously, in terms of how you engage your customers. And if you don't know, it's also good to have a good buddy. So if you need a buddy, just reach out to me. If you don't have anybody, I'll be your pal. Get you started, answer questions. I don't mind helping people. But yeah, if you guys are looking for networking and outside of the app, I use X. I also use things like Blaze AI, which allows you to kind of put out some advertisements to different channels, such as like Facebook or X ads or Google ads or any of those things. So if you're going to do advertising like that, that's one way. I don't know if that's considered networking, but networking with other collectors is always good on site too. If you're, like I mentioned at the beginning there, go to physical conferences, make some business cards to give out to other sellers, make yourself known. Yeah, follow up with all questions too. I just get random questions from people I haven't even seen before. In fact, it comes in the message request that I have not even been pals with the guy before, and I'll still answer the question if it's not spam, right? Or I'll even point to just someone else that may know something to get the guy started. But yeah, just help each other. That's how this thing works really well. Somebody mentioned getting to know the sellers you should know and the ones that you shouldn't. That's also very good advice. And that does come with learning, and you'll see quickly who the miscreants are. Last thing I'll say is definitely use this platform too. I think we're giving a lot of advice out here every week, and it's also great to share ideas and meet folks here too. That's all I'd say. Thanks.
Just to piggyback what Alien said real quick, conventions and cons are huge. I can't believe I didn't think of it. Going around the local ones in just Minnesota, I've gotten recognized. We have a lot more people from Minnesota buying from us now on Whatnot. And when we went out to Terrificon, we were surprised how many people knew us when we were talking to like Erod and all that stuff. Yeah, people recognized our name. Hey, we bought from you on Whatnot. Just communicate and talk to people at cons. Someone like Erod will, jump in and they'll follow you like they did me. Someone like Very Gary. Someone, you might get an asshole that's goes around all the cons like a guy named Glenn we know, fat Flat Earth Santa, beer drinking
Wow.
Canadian. No,
Bye-bye.
no, we give each other shit, but we're family. But honestly, that it's important to do that.
Did you just boot him?
He's back.
I want to piggyback off that.
He's back. Okay, good.
Well, not the fat Santa, but when
I meant to say flat. Sorry.
oh, sorry, fat,
That's okay.
flat, it all works.
It's
I can tell you,
all right.
I've been with Flat's been with us in a couple cons, and I can tell you this year, me and Surter decided to set up at some Baltimore Heroes, and we met a lot of sellers from Whatnot. And not only that, we've had a lot of people come up to us at our booth and was like, "Oh my God, it's Surter and Punisher Rider." It's like, and then that connection happened, and people were happy to see you. So that is a huge, huge way to network for sure.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Yep. All right. Skipping top 3 ways that people can network. I know we've been through a few, but see if you can kind of get one that we haven't thought of.
Everything that's been said, for sure. I want to elaborate a little bit more. Go into the seller help shows, the people that do the seller help shows like this, join the chat, make yourself present in the chat if you're during the live. But there's several people that do the support shows on Whatnot. that's a perfect time to break the ice a little bit, ask questions, introduce yourself, get to know in a smaller group forum, and in a forum that's like, oh, hey, I'm new and I'm looking to network and get to know. Don't be shy. Be kind. Be generous. Uh, Genuine. I meant, um, and polite. And on the polite side of things, when you go in and you're, no matter whose stream it is, if you're asking to promote, use etiquette. Some of the things been seeing a lot in other people's streams, on different platforms, or not platforms, but different categories, is people that will go in and promote in a show, and they've got their show going in 30 minutes and asking everyone to leave the other person's show to join your show. That's rude. And I guarantee you that the dedicated followers of the person has just basically written you off, because they don't want, they can identify that that's rude. So don't do that. And I know that this is supposed to be what to do, but use etiquette is what I'm trying to say. When you're going and you ask to promote, make sure you're following the person that you've asked to promote on their stream. I suggest you have spent time in that person's room, just checking out their vibe and seeing if it's a room where you want to promote it. Definitely everything they said as far as engaging in other people's chats, getting to, sometimes I am one that'll sit back and watch first before I even introduce myself, or get to, when I meet a new seller or a seller that I haven't been in the room before, I'll sit back. I'll even sit back and watch for a few minutes before I pop up and say something, a lot of times, just for, because I'm not the type of person that walks in a room and says, hey, here I am. But
What are
unless
you
I
trying to
know
say,
everybody in the
Skipping?
room. Well, I'm just saying, it's okay if you do. We know we see you coming and we're like, oh, it's Punisher, he's here. But that's a room you already know the people in. I don't think you're walking into a stream and saying, I'm here, look at me. Or are you, when you don't know them? I don't know.
No comment.
Okay. But and definitely reach out to the people that are willing to help. I meet new people all the time. I'm always welcoming of new people and questions, and a lot of us are. The majority is. Definitely make sure that when you're sitting back and you're watching and observing, you're wanting to connect with the people that you want to be connected with. There's people that I've reached out to, and I didn't take the time that I normally do, and it bit me in the bottom, and got me into a circle jerk of well, I stepped out, but of a negative situation. So not everybody is willing to be welcoming, and you need to know that as well. Not everybody's going to be your friend, and you need to know that as well. But the majority of the people genuinely are in it to get, I mean, everybody wants to win, and together as a unit we win. But there are people that have the attitude that it's you against them, and so you should very well be aware of that as well. Let me see. Yep, I think I covered it. I covered my 3. Engage.
Yep. Mr. New Guy, feed the Zeke. What have you got?
Man,
What,
you really
what
gave You gave the new guy the short end of the straw here. I'm going to go last after all these great minds already chimed in. But no, I mean, I would echo. I mean, you got a lot of great sellers here, a lot of great information. I would echo, obviously, everything that everybody else has already said. But a couple things I would add. Send messages, message people. Hey, saw you in the show, blah blah blah. Saw you're interested in these things. I've got this. I send a message to after every show, after I do everything gets shipped, as soon as I drop the package off, every buyer gets a message from me saying, "Hey," and I know Invincible mentioned this last week, and I learned this from him. He's a good friend of mine. He kind of got me going on the app here as a seller, and so I message every buyer, "Hey, just want to let you know your items have shipped. Thank you for being at my show. Thank you for your purchases. Take a minute to bookmark my upcoming shows. Blah blah blah." So they always get a message from me. So sending messages, and on Omen Bids, I know some of you guys know him. He set up that Discord server for people on here. Get on there. I've met some folks on there, and I'm not even all that super familiar with Discord. I've used it as like for gaming stuff, but hopped on there. There's a lot of great different rooms in there. You can talk to people, chat, trade, show promotion, all that kind of good stuff. Allow people in it to promote themselves in your show. I mean, every show I always say, hey, if you're a seller and you got a show coming up, let us know about it, promote it. I'm all about that. We're all here to, at least in my opinion, we're all here to help each other. And I think most people share that same opinion, or the good people do on here, like folks in this forum right now. We're trying to help each other out. So promote your show. I have no problem with that. And then I think the final thing I would add, and the most important thing, at least for me, is, and I would tell you, is and this is simple, but be observant. And what I mean by that, and I did this even as a buyer, but now as a seller, I'm very, very observant. I pay attention to everything that goes on, and not only in my show as much as I can, but in any show I'm in. What are people asking for? What are people interested in? What are their usernames? How can I make a connection? Maybe it doesn't necessarily have to be about comics. Maybe I see your username as you like football. So, hey, what's up, man? How are you? I at them and say, hey, I love, whatever football. Or, hey, you're a Cowboys fan. I'm a Cowboys fan. Let's, whatever, just ways to make connections. You make a connection with somebody, then that's the first part. And networking is key to anything. I mean, every aspect of business involves sales and networking. So being able to just kind of get out there and talk to folks, chat with folks, send messages, and like I said, be observant. Pay attention to people's names, what they're doing, what they're asking for, what they're talking about. Just find a way to make a connection. And then, when they're in your show, greet them, say hi. Oh, I saw you in so-and-so show. Thanks for coming in. Great to see you here. I put a handwritten note in every box that I send out for the buyers. They get a handwritten message from me. If it's somebody that I'm really friendly with, hey, thanks, dude, appreciate you. If it's thanks so much for being in my show, blah blah blah. Just ways to create a connection. Or if they said something funny and I remembered it, I may note that in the note. Just make a connection and get to know people, and you'd be surprised. This is an awesome community. I've been blown away by the kindness that people have shown, me as a relatively new seller, and a lot of people helped me out when I really first got started. So, and I want to repay that and pay it forward. So that's kind of my take on the networking stuff. But everybody hit the nail on the head. So I'll try to sweep up the remains there.
Nice. And I want to echo one thing you said that I was going to bring up is when you're networking with other sellers, I was going to bring up like a Discord or something, but get out there. Maybe, join into something with another part of the hobby, like a gaming, like something else, to say, hey, let's do a game night. Hey, let's do this, just to become to network with other sellers, to get in a group of other people, right?
Yep.
Which we're starting to with Omen. We're going to be, we're going to be starting a cool gaming group and whatnot. Just try something little different, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, as they said, get to know people. Alien's right. I go and I actually guerrilla market by going to a bunch of cons last year. That's what I did. That's how I got my name out there. Yes, everybody knows me on Whatnot, but it it's like, okay, well, you know me on Whatnot. Now you've seen me in real life. You know I'm exactly as I am on the app. It just makes that sort of connection, right? I'm the asshole. I'm the dickhead. It's okay. You can call me that. It's fine.
Okay, dickhead.
Uh,
Call him the name.
Who said that? Who said
yeah,
that?
exactly. No, it is. It guerrilla marketing comes to it. Get networking. There are such great people out here. That's why I enjoy doing what I do. That's why I love putting on these shows, even though it comes down to the panelists. But it is because the networking of people out there, the community that is out there is phenomenal. So let's use that. And
Let me add one more thing in that, because
shoot,
like you said, you really got to be careful on who you deal with, because there are really bad sellers out there, and then you have the really good sellers. So you really got to do your due diligence when you are in somebody's room, like somebody said before. All right, because you don't want to deal with those assholes that are out there on this app, and there are plenty of them.
right, exactly. And one of the things we talked about is with the networking is raiding into somebody else's stream that's in your network, somebody maybe it's into a smaller seller, but we want to give you the best advice. So I just want your single best piece of advice for rating and accepting a rate. And again, I'm going to start with Soda Pop.
Rating, I kind of flip flop it. If there's nobody in the room, I'm not. Depending on where we're at in the show, once I say my goodbyes to everybody and people start bailing, um, I try to raid people I'm at least familiar with. I'll put it that way. If it's somebody that I don't know, sometimes I've jotted their names down or made a mental note to go check them out later. But I also don't want to necessarily raid, just like I won't necessarily promote somebody that I'm not comfortable with. I tell everybody you can promote your own stuff on your shows, but the ones I shout out are the ones that I'm comfortable with, that I bank my reputation on. People can say who they are and what they are and when they're running, but for me, shouting them out, it's a little different. And the same thing with raids. I try to limit it to that. Depending on who's on, though, I've made exceptions. Plus, my group, the core group, I want to be able to send the people that are in my stream that might not be in Punisher's stream, or might not be in Lots' stream, or Crazy Cool stream, and that's they raid me, Lion as well, Lion's Keep. Everybody that raids me, that brings a new eye or a bunch of new eyes on it, and I want to be able to do that for my community too. That's where networking is very important. That helps. But that's my 2 cents. I also go. I take the time before and see who's on, so I can make that decision who I'm going to raid. I don't just like randomly start typing in the first name that pops up. I just click and go.
Okay. What's
That's a
your
good point.
one thing when you do get rated? What's
Yeah.
the best advice you can give to new people?
Have a follower giveaway going. Recognize the raid. Thank everybody that recognize the people when they come in is very, very important. Yeah, for me, Tuesday trivia is hard because I'm giving a book away for everybody. So I let everybody know that, hey, you know, this is what we're doing. You buy a book, I don't care if it's for $1, you're getting a free book. But on my regular shows, I have follower giveaways. I just run a giveaway to thank, the raider and acknowledge the people that come in.
Gotcha. All right. We're going to go to the new guy, Feed the Zeke. What do you do to raid? What do you do when someone comes in and raids you?
Yeah, I mean, fairly similar to what Soder said. I look for if I'm rating, and you bring up a great point too, is that I'll look ahead of time, or I'll even send a message. We got a core group with on the text chat. It's like myself, Jay Celeste, Starter Wyatt, Invincible. Couple other guys on there, and I'll be like, hey, what are you guys running this day? Whatever. I like, if you are not, and you're still on, when I'm done, I'll raid into you, whatever. But I'll also check, like you mentioned, check the streams ahead of time. Say, okay, who's running right after I'm running about the same time, and then I'll get a plan in place to be all right. We'll plan to raid this person, and then sometimes I forget, but I try to before I end my stream, like, hey, we're gonna raid so and so. But sometimes I get caught up because I do all these shows myself, so there's a lot going on, and sometimes I get I forget that to mention that. But yeah, then I'll look and once I go to the list, I'm gonna pick somebody that I'm, like you said, like I'm comfortable with, like either one of my buddies, like those guys in my core group, or somebody I'm familiar with. I know their show. I know I'm dumping people into another really good stream, something like that. And then in terms of, I don't know, I can really say too much different than when getting raided. Obviously, please recognize the raid. Somebody raids you. And again, like when I'm running stuff by myself, I got so much going on that sometimes it's hard. I don't even necessarily see. I'll see that, oh, I got raided because there's a bunch more people in my room, but I didn't necessarily know who it was. And so I might ask, hey, who was, if I didn't catch it, and my mod will chime in, oh, you got raided by, Tafrazi or whoever. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. Great seller. Appreciate you raiding. And then same thing, start up a giveaway to not only acknowledge the raid, but hey, you just got a bunch of new people in your room that may or may not know who you are, so now you can get some more followers by launching that followers giveaway. So I think all that stuff makes a ton of sense. I don't think I have too much more to add to that.
All right, Senior Alien, you're next.
Senor. Great suggestions, guys. Accepting a raid, I'm always totally humbled by that. I mean, wow, you got like an influx of new guys come in. Definitely recognize the raider, and especially if they're pals with you, make sure that you say that they follow them. And what I like to also do is, like, if I know the guy is, like, say a specialist in something, I'll try to say that too. Hey, follow this guy. He's great for, I don't know, Vampirella comics, right? For example.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That kind of thing. And also, definitely follow me. I'll follow you back, type of thing. I'll say, and follower giveaway is a great idea as well when someone comes in with a bunch of folks. In terms of when I'm raiding, I'll usually say, we're going to be done at, say, 9 o'clock hour. At that point, we're going to raid one of our friends. That's kind of sort of what I say. And then I'll look for somebody. Usually I'll look for a Canadian seller because there's not too many of us. But, it's usually a pal of mine that's online, right? And I'll raid them. And just like Soder said and Feed said, your reputation, you're staking on these guys and you trust them. So you raid the folks that you trust. And I think, the other sellers really appreciate raids too. Like, I mean, it's especially when you're starting out, you get all these folks come in, you almost feel like, oh my God, what do I do? But yeah, recognize them. It's all fun and games, guys. And definitely make sure you have a good time and say that, recognize the raider and his team. I think that's all.
Just to give a clarification on why you should probably know somebody first and not just raid new sellers to help promote them, especially if you don't know them. I made that mistake one time. Well, I probably made the mistake before many times, but it got me in the ass one time. I had a couple people message me after I rated a show of just somebody new that I'd never seen. I'm just trying to help somebody out. Apparently, it was just a really shitty show. They was bitching about people not buying his books or not paying what he wanted for them, and that's, be wary of that, because if you don't know, you don't know, and it can bite you in the ass. So just at least observe new sellers when they come on if you're really wanting to help people out. Um, give them advice on the side, and if they don't take it or they just brush you off, probably don't try to raid somebody like that. Um, yeah, that's just my 2 cents to
Yeah, I
clarify a
mean,
little bit on it.
I've been in a couple streams where, they raided into someone they didn't know, and it's pillow books, and where you're coming from a family friendly show, suddenly going into a pillow book show, a little bit crazy, but yeah. Anyways, Punisher, top thing you do when you go to raid, and what do you do when you get raided?
There's a couple things you can do here that I want to add. You can, if you think you're going to start at noon and you're going to maybe go till 3 o'clock, you could go ahead and before your show and look to see who's on from 2 o'clock on. See if maybe there's somebody that's on that you're going to raid or think about raid. Me personally, I already know who I'm raiding. Um, Unless for some reason they're not going to be on, which doesn't usually happen. Or I listen to Soder and he's 100% right. We've gone in rooms where people have been sleeping. You end up in a binge show, which we already know last week how I feel about that. Um, you end up in some jackhole show that doesn't even, you know, even care. And one thing news sellers do, I see this all the time, and I'm sure all of you have seen it. They get their room, they end up with like 4 or 5 people, they go to raid, and they raid into people with 100 people, 80 people's room, 90 people's room. And that seller goes, oh, they don't even acknowledge them because they didn't even bring enough people for them to even care. Which is pretty bad. I think it's part of that networking to kind of get to know the people that you're going to be rating. I understand where we want to help the newer sellers. I get it. But that newer seller needs, my personal opinion, needs to establish themselves a little bit and put in a little bit of work. And I'd be more than happy to raid them. As far as getting a raid, you should be thankful anytime somebody is willing to send their people to you. Because one, they've accidentally hit your name. Two, they like, oh, hey, there's Joey D, for example. So, first of all, show the appreciation by starting a giveaway. 100%. Start a giveaway. Second, and I can tell you from a friend of mine who's a close friend of Joey D's, he will stop his show until people acknowledge and say thank you.
Yep.
And I learned a lot from him watching him over a couple years ago, and it was just absolutely like seriously, somebody just did something for you. Show just a little bit of appreciation. You're still going to sell books. You're still going to whatever. Just take the moment, acknowledge who they are, ask the people that are in your room to please follow this person. And I know this happens in Skipping Stones and all the other shows. I see it. They welcome them in, they thank them. And that goes a long way. It really, really does. And that person might raid you again. And if that person blows up and starts getting bigger and bigger crowds, guess what? They might come back and raid you again because they know that you took care of their people. I know we've done some special raids, and I'm gonna throw Stones out again, where she'll get up early in the morning and throw a big get together to come raid myself or raid for a big drop that me and Sert are gonna do. So again, we appreciate that tremendously, and I know that she raids a bunch of people. It's one of those things where you want to be smart with it because again, people, your people that are come to your show, you stick them in another show and you rated them and it's a shit show, we're gonna call it. It doesn't help you, and it doesn't help that other person. It's just like they're moving away from that show immediately. So again, it's all about putting the work in and appreciating what people do for you that they didn't have to. So that's my 2 cents.
Okay. Joey.
Okay, so as far as rating goes, all right, when I'm ready to stop my show and I know it's time to stop, I'll say, all right, I got to find somebody to rate for you guys. You know, I have a dedicated mod that I ask, go see if anybody's on, and they go and they check. But I also do my due diligence, because if there's nobody on that I know, I'm going to run a giveaway. It's a 5-minute giveaway. I actually go into a couple of people's shows to see if I want to raid into their shows, to see what their shows are doing, what they're selling, you know, and how the chat's going and everything like that. So I will make sure that I raid family first. I mean, you guys, I raided Punisher. Punisher was started off my raid train. Remember Punisher? Punisher. Hello.
I'm here, my friend. Sorry, I was getting something to drink. I
Oh.
figured you were talking, so I didn't have to listen.
Remember when we had the raid train and you started off the raid train for my 8,000 show, whatever it was?
Yes, sir.
7,000? All right. He was on first. So he made a comment, oh, I'm on first. I got nobody in my. So you know what I did? I went and I created a show just to raid him, you know, because, you know, he's doing me a favor. I'm going to do him a favor. But I try to raid people that raid me all the time. But if there's nobody on, I always do my due diligence. I make sure that I raid somebody that's not going to be, you know, an asshole or a dick or a shit show like mine. You know, to make sure that they're selling what, you know, the people that are in my room are looking for. As far as getting a raid, yes, I learned much from that person that Punisher was talking about. And the thing that you got to do when somebody raids you, I mean, I work by myself. I don't have nobody helping me. Okay. So a lot of the times when the raid comes through, the chat goes by so fast you don't see it. But my mods in the chat will say, hey, Joey, you just got raided by so-and-so. And then I will acknowledge. And I always acknowledge and I say thank you. And I always welcome everybody from that raid into the room, even though if I didn't see them yet. And I will not run the seller giveaway, you know, for the raid until I get people to respect that person and say thank you to them in the chat, because it's only right. They have thousands of people to raid and they raided you. So why not respect them by saying thank you? I don't
Awesome.
know.
Yep.
That's a great tip.
Great. Finally for this topic, skipping.
So getting a raid, one of the things I do is, or I try to do is, I pause, I'm thanking them. I ask them how the show went. I stop and I make sure. I mean, sometimes I know if I'm already following them or not, but if it's somebody that I'm unfamiliar with or am unsure if I'm following them, I click on them, make sure I'm following them. And as I'm doing that, I'm saying to my tribe to say, let's take a look, let's follow them. Everybody follow them, you know, and I look at when their next show is and I will shout out their next show. And I'll do that as pretty much at the same time I'm starting my giveaway. And I try and engage with them a little bit as far as that go. I also thank them for trusting me with their tribe, and tell everyone to come on in, you know, welcome in, and try and make them all feel like they are welcome to participate and I try and I remember to introduce myself, but I'm not always good at that, and I need to get better at that. And I think that's important for us to do, is to introduce ourselves to the new people, and make them feel comfortable, and thank the seller that rated you for entrusting their people with you. When it comes to rating out, I want to share a few lessons I've learned. In my history, I have rated into people that were binge shows. Somehow I managed to rate into a panty show, which I'm like, how? I've also rated into sellers that I have ended up purchasing from that I would never promote or take my people into again. And I think that in that lesson, I think that now, if they're not someone that I've purchased something from, that I trust my mods to, if there's someone that's on that, I mean, that I don't know, and there's nobody on that I do know, I will ask them, who do you suggest? And if they don't have anybody to suggest, then I would probably end my show and thank everybody for joining. But that has not happened as of yet, because the time I run, there's always someone that seems to be on. But key is knowing who you're rating into. Do not drop someone into a room. And like Punisher said, let the newer sellers sometimes establish themselves. If you want to, like with Omen, for instance, Omen was a very new seller. Owner is his name. Was a very new seller, and I purchased from him. And I spent time in his show, and I really enjoyed his show. I knew what I was getting, and I knew when I promoted him that I was going to be sending my people to someone I trusted, right? And I had received good results from. I have also promoted other people both in my show and through raids. And when I got books back, we're not promoting them no more. We're not promoting them no more. And we're not rating them no more. And I'm not going to bash them, but they've got a long way to go before I would be even, I probably won't promote them again, just because of how bad the situation was. With my purchases, my packages received, my missing items, and the way they handled it. And so definitely know your people, because the people that are in your room, whether it's one person that's in your room that's a buyer, or it's 30 or 50 or however many you have in your room, you don't want them to get the shit end of the stick that you got or that you may get, right? Which does happen with new sellers. So consider that. And that's not something that I ever thought would happen to me personally. I was too innocent in my thought, thinking everybody treats the same. But sorry about my dog barking in the background. But do your due diligence when you're rating out, that you want to rate into someone that you know is going to not only have good customer service, but a good show. Or if you're not, make sure if you're not, say, I don't know who this person is, let's go check them out together. Right? At least say that. If you're gonna rate into somebody that you don't know, say that. Let everyone know that we don't know who this is. Let's check them out together. But normally when you're rating, you want to know, and you definitely try and return the favor when rating. Unfortunately for me, I'm on the same time every day, the same days, and as many people are, and so people that are ending their shows will raid into me, and they're not on when I'm raiding out, and I hate that aspect of it because I would love to return the favor. And that's sometimes like what I did with Punisher and I did with Surtur in the early morning, and I would do that for anybody else that I get raided by, and they were having a special situation, and or wanted a boost. If they talked to me in advance, maybe I would do a 30-minute gathering and then drop into their show to help support them. But I would only do that if I purchased from them and I knew that their product, because selling is one thing, delivering is another. And so return the favor when you can, but return it wisely. That's all I'm trying to say. I apologize. I had to address my dog.
No worries.
I had to pause that moment. She was letting me know she wasn't happy about something.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm done. Thank you.
Yeah. Everyone pretty much covered everything that I can think of. Joey said the part that kind of was that I was kind of thinking or I hadn't heard yet was make sure that your mod, because sometimes we all get craziness. So mods are a must to be able to help you when a raid comes in.
They are everything.
Raids, yeah, acknowledge, of course, acknowledge everybody. Make sure everybody knows who they are. As Alien said, if you know something about them, if they're, just like, people do with Alien. It's like, this is the guy for Rare Comics. This is whatever. Know something about them, but don't be afraid to maybe go into the show if they're ahead of you or what and if you know who you're going to raid, go into their show before, get to kind of something.
Yes.
If you don't know them already, kind of get something that's a trait that they have that you'll notice that no one else might not. Something that personalizes it when you go in and raid. One other thing, get your guys to stick around and go in with a specific type of emoji, whether it be a middle finger or a lemon or
a frog,
a watermelon or a frog or something. Go in and spam their chat with whatever it is. Make them know that, hey, we appreciate you. Our tribe is coming in. We want to be we want to make you feel welcome. So other than that, that's what I would add.
Good point. Good points. Those are definitely good points.
Let's see. So the last thing that I wanted to bring up as a topic, I'm seeing this a lot, and I don't know how many of you are on smaller people's shows or on people that have lesser shows. I'm starting to see, let's call them new buyers, although they're either alternate accounts or they're a group of people because they seem to be where they're friends with just a certain group, that are going in and pretty much buying up everything, and it's really weird, and I'm not quite sure why. But is anybody else seeing this? Anyone can chime in.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Yep. I've seen it. I've
I
seen
have
it
not
on my
seen
own
that.
show. I've seen it on my own show.
I
Yep.
have not. I need to be.
I haven't seen it either.
I had this week alone, I had a couple of people that seemed like they were friends. They were never in my show, and they bought 30, 40 books in one show.
Damn.
And you won't
Yeah,
see them again.
And they didn't come in the next show.
No, they won't.
And last week it was the same thing.
Is payment
That's when
failing or
was-
anything like that? Or anything peculiar about these guys?
Nope. Just the fact that they one and done and they knew each other. You could clearly tell that they knew each other. And when I surf around a lot, I haven't seen them in other shows. And I don't know if it was just they were new to the. Well, it couldn't have been that we're new to the app because unless they just met the other person in another show and then they came into my show. But nothing's bad came of it. But the packages are just now getting delivered. I don't know, but I thought it was very weird because normally when someone comes in, they buy a couple things. They'll buy a couple things if they're new, maybe 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 things. But to buy 40 books in one shot, and then the other person bought 30 books, and then you don't see them again. And it's like normally if someone comes in, they buy a lot of books from you. They're back again for more books in large quantities, and there's nothing wrong with that, mind you, because I do have some regulars that I fill a large box every week, and so it's not uncommon to have someone come in and buy that, but it's uncommon for them not to return and just be just really off. It was off. And I saw it also on other people's streams where someone came in, they were a new buyer and they bought a bunch of stuff and then off they went.
See, that's interesting because sorry, Flappy. Just I've had that happen. Like I haven't experienced what you're just talking about per se, but I've definitely had. And I mean, you guys are a lot of you guys are longer sellers than I am, but longer time sellers than I am. But I've definitely had plenty of people come into a show, buy a flat rate box worth of books, and then I don't see them again. And I just attribute that to what I was selling. Like maybe I was doing because I mean, admittedly, and you guys maybe do it differently. I don't know. I haven't been to all your guys' streams. I've been to Skip but most of my shows are themed, so I'm running, like I'm running Avengers, I'm running, horror, I'm running, Punisher and Silver Surfer, I'm running Spider-Man. So I always just attribute it to that. So they're there because they really like Spider-Man, so they came and bought 50 Spider-Man books, and my next show was DC, and they didn't want anything to do with that, so they didn't come back. But I've had a ton of people in my year of selling where they've come in one show, bought a bunch of books, gave me a great review, but then just never came back. And I just assume that's just, part of the deal. But I always try to get them back, but they just don't always show up.
Yeah, that happens. One of the things too, sometimes you won't see them for like a month or two. If they spent a shit ton of money, now it's different if they buy a short box of dollar books, but if they're if they're spending a shit ton of money, like $1,000, $500, $2,000, $3,000, not everybody.
That's not my show, pal. I don't know what you're doing.
You'll get there, man. I promise. You'll get there. But you got to remember that's a lot of money. They might have to build those funds back up. So.
It's true.
Sure. No, that makes sense. But believe me, nobody in my show is spending thousands of dollars.
I can give you another reason why that happens, guys. People, all right. You have an influx of new sellers on here, and I can't relate to tell you how many there are, but a lot of the new sellers that haven't done a show yet or are very new to doing shows will go in a room, especially with flat rate boxes, and buy up what they can and never go back again because they're looking for inventory.
Right.
Yeah. And I have regulars that are building their inventory for that very reason, either under an alternative account or, as I've talked to them on the outside, on either DM or whatever, they have said that they're getting ready to start selling, and I welcome that as far as that goes. But it's been really weird this last couple weeks. Really weird. Normally when they come in and it's not just like a one and done type thing. I mean, I understand that there's the people that maybe they just got a little bit of a bonus check, or they sold something and they have a little extra money in their pocket, so they're spending it on comics. I get that. But it's different. There's something different happening, in my opinion. There's
It is,
something
and
different.
that's what I was trying to explain. Is it's not. I get, and like I get it when you're saying that you do a show and people come in and they may not, or they're coming in to build some inventory. This seems to be a group of. I'm thinking they're well, a bunch of us have kind of already talked about this. That what we're seeing, it seems like what'll happen is they're buying books of absolutely less than dollar bin books, and they're
Yeah.
buying them for $2 to $3. They're overpaying.
Yeah.
Um,
Can you
it's
send them?
it's
Please? I got
I'm
a bunch of
seeing
Salagram
that.
I'd love to get rid of.
That I'm seeing. Yes.
okay. Like it's just what I'm saying is like that, and then what'll happen is one guy will buy like 8 of them, right? And then suddenly there'll be one for 2, and then another 5 or 6 from the first guy, and then, or sometimes, like I was in a stream and we were doing this, me and I don't want to say who else was, we were looking this up. There was 35 in a row, and these are books you wouldn't wipe your butt with.
Yep.
So whoever those were, send them to my show
Yeah,
tomorrow because I'm
yeah.
doing that
Just send it to my,
storage
Send them
unit
my
for
way, please. I got
$1
a box
thing
of junk
that
I'm
we were
dying to get rid
talking
of.
about a couple weeks ago. That's
Yes.
tomorrow. Send them my way.
Problem
Yeah,
here
me too.
is
Split them
by
up. Send them half to him and half to
overpaying.
me, please. That'd be great.
But they're different at every show. I don't know how many there are. It just seems like a group. I'm not sure whether they're money laundering, whether they're. I just haven't quite figured it out yet.
Yeah. I am curious too. There's something different about the group of people that I'm seeing that are doing this, and it because I was I'm like, as I'm packing the order, I was really analyzing their order, and it just didn't make any sense.
I agree with the guy in the chat that said it sounds like a good problem to have.
Yeah. Oh, that. By the way, that's Lions Keep. That's Lions Keep. Um. Yeah. No, it is a good thing to have, but it's just, I don't know. Maybe it's because of it's the career in the industry that I'm in. I notice these things. Just because I I hate to say it, but because I'm in cybersecurity, even when I walk into a room, I look at ingress and egress stuff, just because that's how I'm built. But it just, I see patterns in certain things that just it just piques my interest, and I'm like, and it's not it may not be nefarious or anything. It's just I'm seeing it,
Unusual, right?
and I want to kind of get an idea. Punisher, have you seen this?
I have in the streams that I mod in, I've seen people coming in that I've never seen before, which is cool, but like what they're buying. And like you said, and it's like how many they buy, and then I'll be modding in that same stream next week and don't see them, don't see them, don't see them. And then they might come in and buy. I think there's a little bit of everything to what everybody said. I think some people blow their wad and don't have the cash week to week, or that bill's coming due, but they blew their wad the week before. I think there could possibly be because we've been seeing a lot of money laundering kind of situations going on. If they're trying to dump money certain places, but it doesn't really make sense if they're buying below dollar books to me. So that's kind of a conspiracy theory, I guess I would go by that. Um, I can tell you personally, I was in a stream last week and I bought probably 15 items from him. This seller, great seller, but I haven't been in his stream in almost 2 months, 3 months. Not that I didn't like his books and I see him on, but it's just I just didn't go in his stream and I just went in to say hi because that's something else we go back around network. If you start get to know people, even though if you're busy and can't be and there's 50 people on, just stop in the stream and say hi to people. But to go back on topic, I haven't been in this person's stream in over 2 months, and I bought like 15 books, and it was great, but I may not be back again for another month or two. It just depends. I mean, it just depends what I'm looking for, how I'm feeling, what I'm interested in, what the cash flow is looking like. There's just a lot of factors, to be honest with you, with
My
that.
concern was that maybe they had a stolen card.
That's true. That's again could easily be something like that. We've been seeing a lot of that situations happen. I mean,
Yeah,
there's just so much
Ma-
bullshit going on in the world. They get a stolen card and all of a sudden they purchase. I mean, that absolutely could be true. I don't put nothing that can't be possible.
yeah, because my MasterCard has been locked for like 2 or 3 weeks, and they won't do any purchases with through Whatnot whatsoever. Not just my bank account, but MasterCard, and that my bank will not do any purchases through Whatnot because of the fraudulent transactions that's been happening. And it's not me as a person, it's the entire MasterCard and my credit union will not do any transactions for any of their any of their members at all for like it's probably 3 weeks now, and it kind of sucks for me. It's slowed my buying down. I have to buy everything through PayPal with my PayPal account, and then I can't tip, and there's all that. There's issues with that, but um, because Whatnot has been targeted so highly with fraudulent transactions.
And I mean, you see how many times have you seen people's payments where they have to go fix it? Yes, there's people that purchase shit that shouldn't be purchased and don't have the money. But I see a numerous banks and numerous things where people lock their card and they have to go fix it or
That
change
happens to
a
me,
different
and I have the money. It
correct.
happens to me, and I have the money.
So that's one thing that you got to keep an eye on. I mean, listen, it's quick money transactions through electronics. So things can happen for sure. And you just got to be wary. I mean, are you going to take the money? You going to let Whatnot deal with it? Or are you going to ban them? I mean, it's kind of like, I guess it's a case by case basis. If you feel something like something's wrong or see something, say something kind of see, like ask Whatnot, like, hey, have you seen this? Whatever.
Yeah, well, as I said, I'm not saying it's nefarious. I'm not saying it's money laundering. I'm not, any of this. It's piquing my interest, and I'm investigating.
Or
That's all.
maybe we just got a bunch of idiots, honestly, that are coming
That could be.
on and they're like, hey, listen, maybe they don't know much about comics. Maybe they're like, hey, I like that cover. I mean, that could be the case too. Or,
Could
hey,
be.
I know this movie's coming out. I want to buy a bunch of these type of books. They just maybe not know. They don't have the knowledge to go look it up. Maybe they don't know what the FMV is. Hell, I
That's
didn't even know what the fucking FMV was until fucking Flat drug it into my head.
Yep. Well, that you can blame on me. Sure, that's fine.
So, I mean, I bought books because I liked them. Whether I didn't give a fuck what they, if I felt like, hey, okay, I can afford that, and I know damn well I had to pay my lessons and learn. This book ain't worth fucking $10, and I paid 15 for it.
We
They
all
could
did.
be coming over from the storage auction groups because I see them way overpaying.
Yeah, and
That
we
that
talked
was the
about
other
that
thing I was going
before.
to bring up. Yeah, that's what I was. Some of that could be that too.
Yep. Oh, there's probably a million answers. And you know what? It's probably a little bit of everything. And I agree. It's just weird. And as I said, I just the way I am, I I'm naturally tuned into this stuff.
Analytical.
So, yeah, I'm very analytical. When it doesn't make sense, it doesn't work for my brain. So I got to figure out why.
I get that.
And I think
I-
Soder hit it on the head when he said they could be coming from the storage auctions, and you see somebody selling a table full of 90s greatness for a stupid amount of money, and they're like, oh my God, I could pick this up for this much. I could probably get this much for it. I mean,
Yep.
that's definitely something that could easily be explainable.
Yep.
That very well could
That's
be.
what I was wondering was if that was what was happening. It was either that or like a stolen credit card.
And it's tax season too, so people are getting lots of
Yeah.
money in, and they're
Tax
trying to find new
refunds.
ways
Yeah.
to burn it.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people
Well,
are gonna
Comic boom, and
re-
now they have
returns
mortgage.
start on the 14th.
Can I have
So
one of my mods kick out Zilla for asking for
dealer.
Bjork?
I think the guy the applesauce man in the chat made another good point. I mean, maybe kind of joking, but I think there's a lot of truth to that. Is the Mr. Beast promo? I guarantee we got a lot of more new people on the app right now because of that didn't even
You
know
don't
what the
want to
hell.
know how many more new people got on before because of that, man. It
Right.
is over 30,000.
Is that
We
right?
need
Yeah,
to
I
talk
imagine
about
something
the
crazy.
beast in the room.
I
Okay.
don't want to talk about the beast because it was a bunch of bullshit.
I
Yeah,
didn't
it
really pay much attention to it, but I just knew
Well-
there would be a lot of people coming in from it.
Over 30,000. I already checked it out.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Damn. Well, any other topics or that the panel wants to talk about or the chat wants to talk about?
I have something that I want to bring up.
Okay.
Something that Omen had shared with me, and he had recently had a problem sending out card packs, and he had like 25 of them that wouldn't go for the 79 cents or the 78 cents, and whatnot. The next step up would have been for him to pay the $4.85 or whatever it is. And he was like trying to figure out an alternative way. And he found that you could add 83 cents 83 cents worth of stamps, 3 stamps, and that broke down to 83 cents. So Punisher, is it 16-cent stamps or 17-cent stamps? 3 17-cent stamps.
What?
You can add to your envelope. That's your 78-cent envelope, and just add the three stamps that I believe it's either 17 or 18 cents or something like that. I think it's 17 cents.
What was the
To make a
problem
total.
that he was having, though?
Huh?
What was the problem?
Well, he sold them at 0 to 1 ounce, which gave the 78 cents
Okay,
payment.
so I got a solution for that. Okay, and I've been doing this for the longest time. And the solution to that is when you go in and you want to print that label, when you click that pencil, just make the ounces 3 ounces.
Yeah, but then you're paying $4.85. This way you're paying only 83 cents more. So you're paying $1.50, $1.61.
I don't have no problem with that. I don't pay anything like that with 3 ounces. I'm telling you. Punisher, have you had a problem yet?
I haven't, but here's the thing that people got to realize. Anything over the ounce. So all card packs are not the same. I know that certain individuals send like the 1-2 cards. Anything over an ounce needs an either additional ounce stamp, or it also needs a 2-ounce stamp or a 3-ounce stamp, which then can get you up to that $1.50. So with
I'm just gonna
that,
explain something. If you want me to show you, I'll show you too.
there needs to be, I don't, maybe something's wrong with his setting, or like
Definitely.
so if he put it under Pokemon card or sticker, he shouldn't have any issue.
Nope.
It was 48 cents, or it was 78 cents is what it was set up as, like the cards and stickers, like you're saying.
I think it's actually
When he
cheaper. I
took it,
think Whatnot gets a deal at 74 cents.
yeah,
see,
well, we're paying 78 cents, or the buyer is paying 78 cents.
okay.
The cards went to the post office with the sticker on it, and he got 25 envelopes back saying insufficient postage.
Okay, question for you. What type of envelopes was he using?
He was using the padded,
No.
the thin padded, and I understand that as far as
Okay,
that goes.
That's why, yeah.
The reason why,
Because it didn't fit inside the
Exactly.
envelope.
Exactly.
There's a little thing that the post office uses that
Exactly.
measures,
Yep.
and if it's bigger or wider than that, they get charged flat. They'll get charged as a envelope rate, and that's what it sounds like it is.
Take a look at that.
Yep, that's
what you gotta
exactly
send
what it
them.
is.
They come in white. You can get them at Walmart. You can get hundreds of them for no money.
Yeah, that's what.
This is what
Yeah,
you
those
gotta
the
do.
rigid. That's what I told him to use. But he was using the miniature bubble things,
Yeah, that's
and
a mistake.
That's the
and
mistake. That's the problem right there.
right, and so
Let me show you guys something.
should you have that, you can just add the stamps if needed. Is all I was trying to say.
I can't turn my camera around, can I?
Push the button, camera switch.
Yeah.
Camera
You
switch.
could, yeah, it switches to the front facing.
You'll need to put
Which one do I
Joey
go
on
to?
as the main screen
No, I got it.
Yeah,
You see
yeah,
this,
I can.
so we can all see Joey.
Yep.
You see this
Don't
right
worry.
here? It says 299 ounces, 2.99 ounces. Can you see that?
Yep. You're big. You're big, Joey.
Now look at this. Look at what I paid, 78 cents. I put it at 3 ounces on every one, and I don't pay more than 78 cents. The only time you pay more is when you have more than one. If they win more than one giveaway, it'll come up to, let me see if I got one in here. Nope, I only got one in here right now, but there's other ones. But that is the reasoning why your it'll go up.
Now,
He
Okay?
got charged
is there?
postage too. That's the problem. He got charged postage due because somebody
Yeah.
at the post office saw that it was paying for a stamp, a letter rate, and it was actually a envelope rate because of the size.
Exactly. And he also
Yeah,
has,
it was the thickness.
Yeah, that's the problem. And you want to know something? Some people get away with it, but you can't get away with it because it won't fit through that little slot.
Right, because it's all fed through a machine.
Okay, you can go buy those white envelopes in Walmart for practically nothing. I mean, 250, 500 at a clip.
Yeah, you can get them even cheaper at on Amazon.
I get them on Temu for $5. I got 250 for $9.
It's a good deal.
All right,
Okay.
but see, that's the reasoning why these things happen, because everybody thinks that you got to understand how things work. Okay, when it comes to doing certain shipping and stuff like that. I ran it. Oh, Flat Earth Santa. You want to hear what happened the other night?
If you're willing to
All right, I'm
to
willing
state
to
it.
tell you. Flat Earth Santa was the only one that was in the room that's here now. I was selling bronze and copper. What did I start them at? $1?
Yeah, $1 or $2. Yeah.
Yeah, I was starting them at $1. Okay, and I had my setup on my profile and everything like that. But what other people don't understand is if you don't have your profile set up the right way, after 11 items, Whatnot automatically creates a new order, okay, and charges you shipping for that order, whether or not they're getting free shipping or not. If they're getting free shipping, you're getting charged. What happened the other night is I didn't have mine set up the correct way, okay, and I used it, okay, and I could actually show. I mean, you guys will not believe this, but I lost like $80 on shipping,
Yeah.
$70 on shipping, because of my mistake that I tell everybody else not to do, and they did it, and it works for them, and I didn't do it, and I got screwed. Okay,
Yeah, that happened to me in the beginning.
Okay, so that's why I say these new sellers who think they know everything. I'm just going to go on and sell. Lo and behold, I had one guy getting charged $192 for shipping because he didn't listen to me. $192 for shipping. Is that nuts or what?
Yep.
Okay. And I actually had to sit there for a half hour with him on a video chat on Instagram and try to pinpoint everything that he was doing wrong. And I found the one thing that he did wrong. And after that, never had a problem again. All right. So that's why these new sellers, look, back in the day, 5 years ago, okay, when I first started on here, I had somebody I can email at Whatnot and get information. All right. They don't have that anymore. Okay. You don't have your one person that you can talk to. Now you got to email support and wait for them to get back to you. Okay. And sometimes it can take a week, 2 weeks. You never know. Or longer. Yeah. Or longer. But that's the reason why I do these shows, is to help people, because the shipping and the profiles are the biggest area where people fail at. Okay, especially with the when you do flat rate boxes. One guy was selling flat rate boxes, didn't set it up the correct way. He had 9 flat rate boxes in one order. How do you ship 9 flat rate boxes in one order? You can't. When that profile is set up, you have to set up a profile on your own for flat rate boxes, and you have to click that button where it says the amount of items that are in that order and set it at 1. Okay. Yep. And set the box to the large flat rate box or the medium flat rate box. Okay. And you got to let your people know, hey, you buy one flat rate box from me, you're paying $9.21. You buy another flat rate box from me, you're paying $9.21. Okay. So what I did to avert that problem that I had on my show the other night is I set up my profile, okay, at 7 ounces, 40 items per box, because that's exactly what you can fit in a small, medium flat rate top loading box. Okay, set it to 40 items, and then after that, it goes to a new order. All right, because I have one guy that bought 33 books or something like that. I had 3 separate orders, and it was $15 in shipping that I had to pay for, or maybe more, 20, 30. One of them was 22, one of them was 25. All right, so you don't want to get caught up with that stuff. If you're not sure, please get in touch with somebody, email me, text message me. I'll help you get that shit set up so you don't have those problems.
Yep,
definitely.
Anybody else have anything that they'd like to talk about?
I have a topic.
See?
Knew it was coming.
Yep.
Yes, you did. I have, and this is a warning to all Whatnot users. There are other platforms coming. Other platforms that are now available for you to use, including eBay, Instagram. Do not use Whatnot to promote that other platform, because I can tell you there is a handful of people that have been permanently banned from Whatnot because they were promoting that platform.
Do you know you can't even mention eBay on Whatnot?
That's correct. I have many people that have got warnings for that, and I have physically seen at least 5 people that have been permanently banned over the last 2 weeks because they were promoting that other site, and they are now gone.
Yeah, and eBay is they don't mute eBay, but they mute the word PayPal. They don't like it. They don't want it.
Venmo, Cash App.
But the
and I can tell you,
how do you mute PayPal when they accept PayPal, Whatnot?
Or Venmo.
Good question.
Except Venmo too. That's
all I can tell you is it can cost you your Whatnot. Yes, you can make a new account, you can do all that, but if you've worked your ass off, you've busted your ass, made your profile, people start following you, and everything like that, and you lose all that, ask the people that went ahead and changed their name and changed who they were, and how difficult, after all the time that they took to build themselves up, people had no idea who they were.
Exactly. You got to start all over again. Yeah, and my other pet peeve is that you got these sellers who said, "Oh shit, I'm going to go sell live on eBay. It's better over there." Okay, but
And
yet
they're back.
they're back, and yet I see people selling on eBay that come back here to sell their blind bags because they can't sell them on eBay.
Well,
But
grass is
everybody
always
knows the
greener.
app I'm talking about, and I have nothing against the apps. I love the competition, because I think with competition will help with some of the nonsense that we see on Whatnot. You know, when you have no competition, you kind of be able to get away with murder and do things a certain way. I hope the best for that other, but just do not be stupid, and build your brand on that app platform and build your brand on Whatnot. Do not, and people, you know, just don't be dumb and screw yourself over.
Yeah, I'd be caution those also that promote their any platform that, even if it's for social media aspects, that has social media selling as well, such as like the Instagram selling, so promoting it on Whatnot, because that's just around the corner too. Your Discord servers, anything that has selling outside of the app, be careful with that.
All
Be
right,
careful with that.
let me put it
And
to
I'm
you.
not saying not to have an Instagram account that's connected where you're directing them to Whatnot, but be careful. Just be
All right.
careful, because there is a selling on Instagram, and they could just take it wrong.
Yes, but also what you got to understand is that as a seller, you cannot directly promote any other app but Whatnot on your stream.
Exactly.
But somebody else in the stream can say something and not have to worry about it. Okay? Somebody else can mention something in that stream. They can say things like eBay, they can say things like PayPal. All right? As long as you're not promoting any other app but Whatnot, you have no problem.
Yeah.
All right? I found that out the hard way. Because I accidentally said eBay on a stream one night, and I got a warning in the email the next morning. And I was like, it was a mistake.
Okay. Anybody in the chat got anything they want to talk about? They're like, hey, I've got a question. We'll wait about a minute, and then we'll start the going around the horn.
Well, I'm going to start promoting your YouTube a lot more, because we need to get more people in here.
Oh, we do.
No, I mean get a lot more people in here to start viewing and start chatting and start asking questions.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah. Trust me, I appreciate it.
Oh, no. It's got to happen, because people don't understand what goes on, during streams and, running streams and everything else like that.
Yep.
Yeah, there's
To
a lot of
top
value
that,
added to this.
I have seen a couple people have mentioned this show, and they literally watch it, take notes and everything. So we are trending in the right direction, and we are helping people. It's coming along. It's just like Whatnot. It's just going to take a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
I would like to say something. If you're watching, make sure you hit the like button and share it. If there's someone you could share it with, share it, because that does help. That does help.
subscribe, tell your friends, even if they come on, they watch it, put it on in the background when they're at work on mute. It doesn't matter. It helps us. It helps our algorithm and whatnot to get stuff just like it does on Whatnot. It helps to bring us up a little farther. The more watch hours we get, the more whatever. It just helps.
Well, tonight I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to start promoting you. You're going to see on Instagram, and you're going to see on Facebook, and TikTok.
Thank you. And there's going to be one. I think just for the fun of it, I think we're going to bring it in just because I enjoy it. The puppet's going to be a panelist every once in a while.
I love it. I love
Just
puppets.
I don't know. Do you?
uh, okay, so we're going to go around the horn. Everyone tell. Oh, hey, Locke. By the way, if guys, this is a good friend of mine, and you want an artist. He does work on cards. He works for Topps, Marvel. This is a really cool this is a really cool guy. What's the process of taking multiple single orders from a single customer into a single mailer? Can this be done? So
Yes, it
there's a
can.
question.
Yes, it can. Now,
Okay.
why do you have multiple orders? Are they set at a certain amount, Locke? Are the orders just one order and they just keep on getting more orders? There's a lot of information you got to let us know.
Yeah, is it from different streams, or because if it's in the same stream, it should all be in the same order
Exactly.
at the end.
But also, you guys got to understand something. On the Canada side, you guys can do your other thing now.
Yeah, the weekly. Locke,
The-
I don't know if you know. Yeah, we can do weekly. So if you do multiple shows in one, we can combine it into a weekly order.
Yes. Is Locke from Canada?
Yes, he is. He's from Toronto.
Okay, that's probably one of the things that you're going to have to educate him on.
Yeah.
So, it sounds like maybe a shipping profile might not be set up correctly. If it's all in a single sketch card, then
It's different in Canada. That's the
Okay.
thing. It's
Yeah.
They have the ability to do a batch, a whole thing for the whole week.
right,
Yeah,
But
right.
set up on both ends. The buyer and the seller has to set it up. So the seller needs to set that button.
Do we know how to set it up as a seller? Because that was something I meant to ask the last time we talked
It's
about
only
this.
in Canada.
it's only for
So only
Canada.
Canada sellers can only
Not-
set it up for Canada
not-
customers.
Not USA.
Correct.
So
yet.
U.S. sellers can't set it up for Canadian customers.
No.
That I don't know.
You get an option when you get a buyer from Canada come
Go
in
into
your
your.
show.
It's in your.
There's
Hold on.
No.
I'll bring my seller hub up. How's that?
Okay.
No, you can't do that.
Because I do have Canadian customers, and I want to provide them with that service. So
I
if there's
understand.
something I can do, I want to do it.
On your end, on the United States end, we don't have that option.
Okay, you
to
see
do
it
that.
over here, right here. It's in your seller. So if you go to your seller hub, right? Seller hub, and then it's in your shipments. Over here, when you go open the sidebar, it's right here. It says weekly bundling.
We don't have that option.
Yeah. So
The way you're doing it, the skipping stones, the way you're doing it now is probably the better way that you can do it.
Yeah, what I do now is I offer people to put one show into local pickup after they purchased it, or they have to push. They can do the local pickup first, and then as soon as they purchase a label, they do regular shipping. Then I'll combine what they put that they've done for local pickup into that box.
That's exactly the way you.
just have a $1 item that they can buy, and with the the 921 max shipping for whatever, unless it's like a big long
I just
box
say
or
pick up.
something like that.
I just say shop one show in shipping mode, and then the other shows. But you've got to ship within 2 days. I have mine set up for within 2 days. So if you want to do for an entire week, do local pickup, and then the last day of the week, or when you're ready to have it shipped, then purchase the label is truly the best way to do it.
Right, but the
Yeah.
only thing the buyers got to understand is they need to send you those codes so you can knock it out.
Actually, as soon as
the
you
code
print up,
automatically done is done.
yeah, as soon as you print up the pick list, it goes into paid. If you're over 1,000, you just got to print out the pick list. Instead of a pack list, you print out a pick list, and it goes automatically payment. You don't even need the code.
Oh, that's pretty cool. See, you learn something new every day. No, I'm saying, listen.
I agree with you. I'm laughing because I agree. I learn something every show. Every
day,
show.
learn something new.
Well,
Yeah,
good.
and I found that out by accident. But yeah, as soon as you print the pack list, or not the pack list, but the pick list, it goes in. The money goes down into your queue for deposit, so you don't even need the code. I've never used the code.
Yeah, the codes. We learned this like about a year ago with friends up here in Canada that were a seller. Yeah, you don't need it.
All right, that's cool. It's like, what's the stupidest question in the world?
The one you don't
The one
ask.
not asked.
Exactly. So, I mean, there's no reason why you can't ask questions.
Yep. All right. Well, that
I'm good.
answered Locke's question. We're going to go around the horn, starting with Joey and work our way up.
I'm good.
Tell us where they can find you and.
All right, so you can find me on Whatnot, Joey DWW1, and across all platforms, I'm the same thing. Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook is the same thing, Joey DWW1. I do my show every Thursday at 8 or 9 o'clock. I run my Q&A answer show where you can get all your questions answered, but not only answered, but showing you how to do it also.
Awesome. Mr. Senior Alien Warrior.
Senior. Thanks for having me again, guys. Oh, awesome. Look at that streamer along the bottom. Yes, that's right. Thank you, guys. Yeah, we do shows Wednesdays. I have been off because I've been busy with life, as you know, but we're back next week. You can reach me at aliencomics.ca. All my links are there. We specialize in rare, hard to find books. And on the website there's a couple of pages you might want to bookmark for collectors reference. And you can reach me on Whatnot at Alien Warrior 75, also on X at that same at symbol. And I just want to say, the guys in the panel, great advice tonight. Thank you so much for having me. And I guess we'll do it again next week, maybe.
I got one more thing I want to add. If any U.S. sellers have no way to get new release books and you want new release books, just hit me up.
Awesome. Mr. Soder.
Yeah, I just want to thank the panel as well. You guys are awesome. I learn shit every week too. It's pretty amazing. Gonna steal that raid. Everybody use the same symbol to, or emoji to when you're running in, because that's a great fucking idea. The chat, thank you guys so much. Love you guys. Thanks for coming in and supporting the shows. And you can find me on Whatnot. It is SoderPop_comics, Mrs. SoderPop_comics as well. That's Mel. And you can find me on Instagram, rick.soder.mn. That is going to be changed here soon because Flat reminded me and Mel told me I'm going to change it. So we're going to have Soder Pop Comics on Instagram as well.
Cool. Mr. Punisher.
Punisher Rider is back this Saturday. I do a show about once a month, but you're going to get Punisher Rider probably about 3 times within this next month. I'm going to have a 3,000 celebration on Saturday. I got tons of crazy books I've got. I'll have everything from titties to keys. And on the 28th of February, I'm flying to Florida, and we are going to be dropping the Vixen blind bags. And I can tell you that we are going to release the next one tomorrow, the next reveal. I'm super excited about that. I can tell you, but next week is the big reveal. We've asked a lot of people to guess what it is, and nobody has even came close. And I'm super, super excited for what we are bringing. I think it's going to blow your minds.
Do we get hit?
Yes, it's a book, comic size. We'll come in with a bag and a board. Um, I can tell
I
you,
wasn't close with Whoopi Goldberg.
yeah, you were real close with that one. Um, I can tell you that I'm also going to be going to Delaware and help a brand new seller. Maybe you guys know him, Ford Gasm Comics. He has 30,000 comics. He's known as kind of like a whale kind of buyer, and he has asked for the Punisher Rider's help. So we're about 2 hours away from each other. So I'm going to drive down there and help him launch his first show. And he has asked me for tons of advice, what to get, what to start. And I'm going to spend probably about a day or two with him, and we're going to launch for him.
When are you doing that?
I don't have the exact date yet, but I will let everybody know. We'll
Okay.
be promoting it. It's going to be after I get back from Florida for after the blind bags. And you can get me on Punisher Rider 1. It is a private account, but if you send me a link and I can verify who you are, I will absolutely add you. You can see really cool stuff. And last week, we started on another new project, and this is going to be quite an undertaking. This is every time I raise the bar, this one's going to be insane, even crazier than anything we've done before. We just keep getting bigger, bigger. Also, one last thing, we have got verified. We got a booth before they sold out at Terrificon. Not only will you see Flat Earth Santa, Surtur, Miss Surtur, myself, Soder Pop. Come see us at Terrificon August 7th through the 9th.
It's going to
We
be
are
fucking awesome.
we are going to blow the roof off of fucking
Hell
Terrificon.
yes.
Where's Terrific?
We're not going to run over Santa, are we?
Listen, Santa's gonna have to. We're all gonna probably be at the Mohegan Sun anyway, so
Yeah,
it'll be easy. So there probably won't be much driving, thank God. We might be looking at an Airbnb. We'll look at the prices as we get closer. Besides that, we might show up at a couple other cons. It's really difficult because we're doing major projects and trying to do traveling, and it just matters if it works out. But we're definitely locked in Terrificon. Also, I can tell you that if you're interested in ever doing cons, do not wait. Those cons sell out quickly.
Where is
Booth space.
Terrificon's Connecticut, the Mohegan Sun Casino.
Yeah, so I can tell you it's always a fun time. You guys get to meet people face to face, and it's always a great time. And yeah, when if you've never been in a Punisher Rider show, come this Saturday. I'll take you on a fucking ride like you've never seen before. So
And Flat Earth Santa can teach you how to get free beer.
What the hell? That didn't happen when I was there.
Yes, it did. It was so packed and we couldn't sit down.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yep. My bad. I was already drunk.
That's why you don't remember. You got so much free beer that you don't remember that you got free beer.
That is actually accurate.
well, it's kind of nice because we have a booth me and Surtur have a booth side by side that you kind of have like a little space to chill and get out of the crowd.
Yeah. Skipping. Tell us where they can find you and everything that you've got coming up.
Thursday, Friday, Sunday, 4:00, and then I've been doing Monday seller help the last couple weeks. It's been highly received and requested more of, so I'll be doing that. I am taking the last week of the month off to have surgery, and but we'll talk about that when we get closer to it. This week, I'm breaking into the wall, guys. the wall of comics that we have not touched, the wall that has been the elusive wall. So all new comics, of course, they're all old, but they're all going to be hopefully new titles. I don't know what's in the boxes, but I have a feeling there could be some really good stuff sitting to my right, and I'm breaking down the wall. So join me Thursday night, Friday night, and Sunday. Let's see what comes out of these boxes.
Cool. Awesome. And our last, but definitely not our least, our new guy, Feed the Zeke. What have you got? Where can they find you?
Before I do that, let me just say thank you to Flat. Really appreciate the invite and the opportunity to be on here with you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you everybody for having the new guy on here. So really do appreciate it. And Skip, and I want to say I was in your your seller show on Monday. That was really cool, very informative. I learned some stuff there. So I hope to see you keep that going for sure, because that was a cool show and a good way to get some information and network and talk to people. So that's awesome. But as for me, I am Feed the Zeke. Just on Whatnot. I don't really do much else on social media. So what I got coming up, I'm trying to finally get more consistent here. That's been one of my problems. It's a side hustle for me that I just do for fun. So sometimes life gets in the way, and I would run all different kinds of times, days of the week. But I'm pretty consistent now on Saturdays. Usually run at 2. I am running at 4 this week. Doing Avengers, Bronze and Copper Age Avengers this week on Saturday at 4 o'clock Eastern time. So you'll find me on Saturdays for the most part, between 2 and 4 going forward. And Feed the Zeke. Thank you so much, guys. And lady.
Awesome. And thank you again to all the panelists for showing up. Thank you to all the chat for coming out and supporting us. You don't know how much it really does mean a lot to us. I mean, this is why we do it. We love helping everybody. Thank you again. Thank you, panel. As I keep saying, I may be the ringmaster, but I'm a dancing monkey at heart. Let's face it. I don't sell as much as everybody else here, is at least on Whatnot. But I've done it and I've helped enough people. But yeah, trust me, it's these guys that make the show. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for coming out. I thank you. Bragging rights next week. Come Monday, we crown our bragging rights season 1 champion. I'm not going to say who it is, but I'm pretty sure everyone knows who it is.
A member of the NWO, baby. Represent.
It is.
Yeah.
That's why you brought him in, because he's the champion. No. We're going to crown the champion, and then the following week, the 23rd, is the start of season 2. I will let everyone know, and of course, on next week's show, you will know how to sign up. We want to have more people on this year. There is going to be a little bit different rules. There is going to be a little bit different show. But if people don't sign up, I won't do the show. That's the way it's going to be. The people have to want it for me to do it. I'm not chasing people. I'm not chasing people down this year. If you want to do it, there will be the first 6 months sign up. There will be sign up. If you want to come on, great.
I want it.
How will we sign up, Flat?
It's going to be an online. It's going to be an online sign up sheet that you sign up for. It'll be a link of a bunch of different weeks. You pick the week that you want to do, and of course, if you win, you return as the champion. So, again, everyone come out next week. You'll find out what it is.
That's going to be hard, though.
We're going to crown the champion. No, because you don't know if you're going to be the champion. That's
no, I'm saying about the sign up, because what if, I mean, if I don't buy any books because I'm traveling or I'm doing something else, and I signed up 6 months earlier, kind of.
You can. No, you're not. No, you can actually move yourself. You can actually remove yourself. There's seats. it's just like sign up seats. There is two available every week.
Yep.
And then you can say, oh, okay, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to sign out.
Okay.
Okay. I just don't want to be chasing people down this year like I did or next year as I did last year. I was chasing people down constantly, and I just don't want to do that anymore. I don't have time for it.
And don't worry,
Um,
I was your savior every time when you needed somebody.
yeah, yep. Everybody came on, and that's the thing. I don't want to be. I don't want to have to count. Like it's. I don't want to. I know. I appreciate everybody that stepped in and said, "Hey, I can do it," and whatnot. But I just can't do that anymore. I don't have the time. I've got enough other stuff that I've got on the go. I've got two businesses that I run to begin with, let alone a third one that I'm adding. So, um,
Don't forget, we
any
got cons coming up that are going to
well,
be
that's
coming up very soon, and we're going to be busy, busy, busy.
exactly, and that's the thing. That's my third business is part of what's coming up. So, um, anyways, what not? Why not? Next week we've got the mods, so I've got to get with everybody about the mods um, that are going to be the panelists next week, and of course. We've got some cool stuff coming up for what not, why not, and of course, guess the grade is coming back because I'm on the final book of Richard's books.
Ooh,
Yeah,
yay!
yes.
Fun.
So anyway, so that's going to be coming up here soon. So everybody, thank you again for coming out. We're going to play you out. You're more than welcome to stay. We can talk backstage. If not, we'll see everybody next week. Thank you again and enjoy.